Okay. So today we have Cindy Stevens with us. She is the owner of Personal Financial Solutions. Now, it's a company that serves as a daily money manager for her clients. And you're probably going to be like most Americans, and your first question would be, what is a daily money manager? So that's what Cindy and I are going to talk about today. We're going to enlighten you on what a daily money manager is and kind of why it's a critical service for thousands of Americans. So Cindy, welcome to the show. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kurt, for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so let's kind of just jump into it because, like I said at the outset, a lot of people have no idea what a daily money manager is. Mm-hmm. So what is a daily money manager?
A daily money manager is someone who helps you in that, say, donut hole between being able to take care of your day-to-day bill payments and dealing with the paperwork, insurance, explanation of benefits, and matching them up with your medical bills to make sure you're paying the correct amount, and the time when, say, your power of attorney would take over, or a guardian, or your children completely taking over, where you still want to have control of your own finances, but you just need a little extra help to keep things organized, remind you about bills, make sure things are paid on time, have a third-party set of eyes looking at something that might be able to say, oh, this insurance looks a little high, or your coverage doesn't match where you are now. Just crossing the T's, dotting the I's. A lot of times it's helping people who are physically or mentally unable to keep up with their day-to-day bill payments. Other times it's people that are just so busy traveling and enjoying their retirement that they don't have time to keep up with it, and they want to make sure that somebody is keeping up and keeping the lights on at home and keeping things straight.
Okay. So typically you're probably looking at somebody who in most cases is elderly.
The daily money managers, they work with different groups. Many daily money managers, I think the majority of them work with seniors. However, there are subsets of daily money managers. There's people that I've met at our annual conferences that work with divorcing people. I've had other people that work only with the young, high net income couples that are trying to find their way with all this new income and trying to teach them how to budget and stay on a budget. There's little niches for that, but most of the daily money managers have a majority of their clients in the senior base or some in that. So it's wide open as to, you never know who's going to need help. I have a number of clients that are adults living on their own. However, they are dependents on their taxes for their parents because they are mentally challenged. So that they're able to live on their own, but there's no way that they could keep up with making sure their bills are paid, or they've exhibited a history of not being able to do that. So I'm not a family member, so you don't get all of that static in the relationship of, mom telling me or dad telling me or brother telling me. It helps them to maintain their independence, but safely.
Okay. So obviously you're involved in a lot of the financial aspects for people. So another question would be like, why doesn't my financial advisor or CPA do this? What's the difference there?
Daily money managers typically do not sell products. So you will have people that are daily money managers that are also financial advisors, CPAs, lawyers, all types of other professions in there. But a strictly daily money manager, how I practice is I don't sell any products. So I'm not trying to sell them annuities. I'm not trying to get them to put their retirement funds in with me. I'm not a financial advisor where I'm telling them where to invest. I'm helping them to budget and make sure their bills are paid on time. And when I see that there is a need for either a discussion with their financial advisor or their CPA, bringing that to the attention of the client and saying, this is what I see, and this is the outcomes that could possibly happen. We need to talk to an expert in this area and bring in part of that team. As a daily money manager, I work with clients, either the professionals they already have set up or when I find out sometimes the professionals that they've been working with have retired or maybe passed away many years ago, and they weren't aware of it because they weren't keeping up with that. So we create a team. If there's already one there, then we work with that team to create safety for that client in financially and where they are now, and then also looking out to the future of, okay, do I think you can safely stay where you are? Do you think you can safely stay in your home? Do you need to downsize? There's just so many facets of working with seniors that I'm not the Johnny do it all, but I know when I see a situation who they should be talking to, either the people that they already have in place or giving them some referrals of names of people who do those types of things, either placements or downsizing or changing the home that they're in to make it handicap accessible or even more senior friendly. So circling back to that, the difference between a daily money manager and a financial advisor, we don't give advice on you should invest in this or you should buy these annuities or anything like that. Again, it's a third party looking at their information for their best interest, but not with I'm going to sell you this or move your insurance over there for my benefit.
Okay. And it sounds like, you're so much more involved in their kind of day-to-day life than what most financial planners or CPAs would be. I mean, you know all the little things that are coming in, all parts of their life, their medical situation, all of that in many cases, financial planners and CPAs just don't know about. So
yeah, and because that's not on their radar. They're kind of looking at the big broad picture, yeah. And I'm kind of in the trenches with the person and taking a look at just even small things like, well, you go to this pharmacy, and did you know that if you went to the pharmacy 2 blocks down, that's in network, and your medications would cost you this, and it would save you this much per year. A lot of the time, it's things that they don't know that they don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just from the years of experience and having seen many different policies and different situations and different bills, even for like your cable and your cell phones and things like that. Just trying to help them to make the money that they saved their whole life work the best way for them to make their retirement a nice time instead of time of panic or trying to stretch the pennies, and just trying to make sure they've got the best possibility of a happy outcome for them.
Okay. And you find that your clients mostly come, like they contact you, or is it something like the kids contact you because mom and dad's a train wreck and we need some help here? Like, how do you find most people come to you?
People come from a variety of ways. One way that they don't come is you don't advertise for it. It's kind of like, hey, trust me with helping you with your money. That's not the way it goes. But it is from referral from other professionals mostly, where they go to their CPA or their financial advisor and they see that train wreck and they say, who are you going to call? You need help. And like you said, the financial advisor is like, well, I can see this is a mess, but I work at this 30,000 mile level. I need somebody down there in the trenches with them to get all this straight. Sometimes it'll be when it's time to do taxes and the person is like, I have no clue where any of this is, because they maybe start shuffling things around and stuffing them in drawers instead of putting them together. Okay. So it can be, I can work for clients, or sometimes I work for the power of attorney of the client or even a guardian of the client. We have such a transient society now where kids don't move into the house in the same neighborhood with their parents. They may live in Colorado or Florida or California, and their parent is here, and their parent is not going to move from here to live with them. So they may be power of attorney or guardian, or eventually like the PR of the estate, and they're out of state, and they need somebody here, boots on the ground to help. And so that's where I get my clients can be any way from those different variables. Also from continuing care communities or assisted livings. Sometimes the people that work there, these people will go to them saying, I can't balance my checkbook, or I lost my insurance and I don't know why. And it's just that that little extra help that if they had family or a relative that was there that had the time and the knowledge to do it, that they could eventually help them work through it. But there's just a lot of people that don't have people to help them, or the people that want to help them are either out of state, too busy, or there's just too much of that static from the family dynamics.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could see we're in that part, especially like our generation, Gen X, we've got our kids we got to deal with them. They're getting college age, all this stuff you have there. And if your parents need help too, I mean, it can be quite a burden on people. So they need someone who they can trust to help them with mom and dad, their finances.
It's sometimes that the parents don't want their kids to know that there's a problem because
True.
They're afraid they'll come and take all my money and put me in the old age home. That I get those kind of calls a lot, and it's a lot harder to do that than you believe. But
Yeah.
they want the help because they want to stay independent, and they don't want their independence taken away from them. And that's what a daily money manager can do. It can help them to stay safely independent wherever they choose to live, and then also know that there are ability to refer to if they need to adjust where they're living or move to another place. Sometimes you start out working for a client and then they decline to the point where then you start working for that client's power of attorney, and so things may change direction. It's a very interesting career, and there's always something new, from helping people sell homes in foreign countries that they've had for years and they need to get rid of, to even just to another state, to helping them find missing documents. It's always fun helping them log out property to gain income from stagnant property that they own. Just all kinds of fun stuff.
Wow. I imagine too, you probably get called in. I mean, have you ever seen any cases where like a senior was being defrauded or, something crazy like that, and you could step in and see it right away?
Yes, I've been called in by Adult Protective Services on a couple of cases. I've been referred by senior centers to clients that they say something's not right, and I go in and I find people that have forged clients' names on like $60,000 worth of checks over a short period of time. Then I work with the assistant state's attorney to help prosecute, provide the support document, maybe do with the COVID issue that we have going on, making it harder to meet in person with people, helping them to do a testimonial on, say, a tablet when you have somebody that's 90 some years old and has never used technology, and you're trying to get a court statement. That was fun. So, but yes, it's a little bit of like forensic accounting when you know something's not right, and you look and you dig this all up and you run it through with the attorneys and the police and helping them. There's been, especially over the last 2 years, there's been a lot more cases that I've referred to or been referred to me with the fraud.
Yeah, because that's getting to be an enormous problem. And sometimes, I'm sure you've probably even seen where it's family members that are defrauding their own parents.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that everybody's worried about the the Jamaican money scam or the Social Security scam, but a lot of groups that study this, their studies have found that 80% of all senior fraud is perpetrated by family members, not by these outside things that they're telling you to be aware of, like don't answer the phone and things. Yeah. I've been doing helping a continuing care community in this area with a number of their spend down applications that they have seniors that left and right are being scammed by these, which then puts them in a position of needing assistance for their rent. Wow. So it comes from everywhere, but sometimes working as a daily money manager, I am that buffer between family and the senior. Sometimes you'll have family that doesn't want the senior to spend money on their care. And so by being there and helping them to continue independently, they can. Other times it's separating, say, sometimes it's grandchildren or children from having their fingers in the mom or dad's account to help themselves. And just because there's a third person there that sees it, that person that's using their parents' funds stops of their own accord because they know somebody is there to see it. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and how does it work? Do you have like a limited power of attorney over accounts, or do you just step in and still have to get the senior to sign and agree to everything, or how do you usually handle that?
There's different ways that different daily money managers work. The way that I work is I do not become anybody's power of attorney or guardian. That way I can always maintain being the third party, disinterested party, if you will, so that any decisions that are made are from that senior. And that is a constant vigilance where if I see that the senior is maybe slipping in their cognitive ability or maybe making some decisions that aren't great, pulling in some other professionals to say, is it time for us to start working at the direction of your power of attorney instead of with you? But I do not put my name on anybody's accounts. I don't control their money. I work with them to maintain their independence and have the control over their own funds and guide them for their best options as far as just trying to keep their bills paid on time, looking at anything like insurances to some people have been with the same insurance company for 20, 30 years, and their premiums are crazy. So just saying, when we get a couple of quotes, we get it, and then sometimes talking to their original insurance because they've gotten other quotes, they'll bring their price down. So just helping in various ways, but I don't go and do all that for them. I suggest an idea, and if they want to do that, then I help them follow that through.
Okay. So a lot of people might be nervous about bringing in anybody into either their finances or children bringing it into their parents' finances. Do you have to have certain licensing or bonding or insurance or anything like that to be able to do this?
Well, two separate questions about licensing and then the bonding and insurance. I carry E&O insurance like CPAs do. There is no bonding for a person that doesn't have employees. However, I am bondable, meaning that if I were to be court ordered to, say, be the PR for somebody's estate and it required me to be bonded, I can be bonded. It's just as a sole proprietor, you can't carry a bond on yourself saying that I swear that I'm going to do right. Because obviously you are. The other part is I carry a couple of certifications. One is from the American Association of Daily Money Managers. I'm a certified daily money manager. That there's a couple of year process for that. You have to be working in the daily money management career profession for about 3 years, and then sit for an exam like you do for a CPA and pass that. And then there's continuing education that you have to renew every cycle with that to keep up with that. That includes a background check and all those fun things.
Okay. So there is some real protection there for people. It's not just somebody says, hey, I'm going to help you with your finances. A real daily money manager has a very vetted process to be able to do this.
A code of ethics that we must adhere to maintain our certification. And I also have my certification with the Society for Certified Senior Advisors, which is a kind of a broad cover of all the aspects that seniors may come across, everything from housing to medical to funeral arrangements to estate documents. It kind of is a broad cover of the issues that seniors meet. It doesn't mean that, I'm going to go sell funeral documents now or do estate documents. It's meaning that I have enough education to help steer people towards the right referral sources to take care of their issues. And that certification also has a code of ethics and continuing education for it as well.
Okay. And so kind of asking a question here, because a lot of times I think when people hear this, it'll be the kids who are worried about mom and dad. Like what things usually should prompt a child to start to push for getting a daily money manager some help? I mean, like what are the biggest signs that something needs to be addressed here?
When you visit, you see piles of mail, or they're stuffed in drawers, or you see the yellow or pink envelopes or the late notices. or even getting shut-off notices, or hearing that bills are late, or if there is conflict in the family over, Mom, you should do this, and Mom or Dad's not wanting to do that, and you're just like, they won't listen to me, but they need help, but they won't listen to you. One of the things that happens is that when your parents look at you, no matter who you are and how old you are, in their mind's eye, you still have pigtails and you're like 6 years old and cute. So you could be the CEO of some major corporation and it doesn't matter because they're looking at you through their heart eyes instead of their brain eyes. So sometimes kids get frustrated when I come in and I help and I say, X, Y, Z, and the parent goes, "That's a wonderful idea. Why didn't you ever tell me that?" And the adult child is sitting there going, "I've been trying to tell you this for years." But just hearing the same thing from someone else, it relieves a lot of that static, that tension between the two. And so it's irony at its best that a lot of times the things that the parent ends up doing could be right in line with what the child was saying, but because they have all of that tension of the relationship, the parent really can't hear it and the child can't really convey it to the parent. And so I just create that bridge.
Okay, awesome. Well, great. Well, Cindy, I appreciate your time, and I just wanted to kind of get the word out there. We look at a lot of different parts of finances with our blog and podcast, but I think this is one area that really frustrates people. If you're a child and your parents, like you said, they won't listen to you, they don't want either you involved in it or they see you as that little kid. So it can be very frustrating for the kids, but also just for the parents themselves. They might know that things aren't going right and they're too afraid to ask, or so they now know they have an avenue that's it's professional. You get certifications, you have studies, you have continuing ed. And I just don't think many people know about daily money managers, and it's good to get the word out there about it. So, but yeah, I appreciate your time. And how could people find you if they have questions or if they might need your services?
They could Google the name of my company, Personal Financial Solutions. I have a website at pfs-dmm.com. Which is Personal Financial Solutions, a dash like you have on a phone number, and then Daily Money Manager. And they could also give me a call, but if you look on my website, you'll find my phone number. I'm not sure about podcasting it out there.
Sure. That's fine. Okay, well, great. So again, appreciate your time, and I hope that if anybody has any questions, they reach out to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kirk. You have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.